Ready?
Take your name, rank, and register, boy.
Lamawad Banya Howard Banya Shala.
Lamawad Banya Howard Banya Shala. Yabashin Shabakata.
La Yashala.
All right. We're gonna go ahead and face east. Do the Most High's prayer. I'm gonna do it in English. I'll leave it to Priest and Officer Lamawad to do it in Hebrew. Just gonna have to use. If we don't, we're going to use a phone. Okay, go. All right then. Yeah.
Psalms 83, the whole.
Yeah, the whole 83rd chapter, first verse to 18. I'll do it in English. You do it the Lord's Prayer.
Come. The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa. Shabbat
Shemayim.
Kodash.
Ayah.
Shibka.
Yahweh.
Malakka.
Taba'ah. Ratazakah. Ayah. Asha. Baratazah. Kawah. Ayah. Washamayim. Nathanawa. Lakam. Call. Yawam. Wasalakana. Kabawafina. Kasalakna. Kabawafina. Wala'ah. Tabayanawa.
Banasa Yuan.
Nanawan.
Abal.
Hawashana. Mayan. Ra. Laka. Amalakwa. Wahala. Watapara. Lawalam. Aman. Here's the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Our Father. It's like in English. Our Father. Which art in heaven. Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it.
This is the power in the Hebrew.
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem,
Yahushua, Baba Kusha, Nathanawa, Akak, Ba'ah, Kamakala, Kamadala, Akak, Latahar, Hamatsaran, Akak, Lahakoyam, Hamathyam, Akak, Kawaf, Hatamala, Lagarshan, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, the water. Aman. Most High's prayer to the power in English. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Please give us the power. The power to heal all manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you, so be it.
The blessings in the Hebrew. Barak.
Atah. Yahweh. Wayahushua. Amakiala. Waliyam. Matazabah.
Alawak.
Yahana. Alawapia. Asaranya.
Hakotazayam.
Hakayalium.
Wa'akwatiyam.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem.
Yahushua. The water. Aman.
This is the blessings in English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahushua.
And Yahushua.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commanding General Yohanan.
Commanding General Yohanan.
The generals.
Generals.
The captains.
Captains.
The officers.
The officers.
The troopers.
Troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it. This is Psalms 121 in Hebrew. Asha'ah.
Asha'ah.
Ayanya.
Ayanya.
Oh. Ahariyam.
Ahariyam.
Mayan.
Mayan.
Yaba'ah.
Yaba'ah.
Azarah.
Azariah.
Azariah.
Isaiah.
Ma'an.
Ma'an.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ashah.
Aisha.
Shamayam.
Shamayam.
Waratazah.
Waratazah.
Al-Yatan.
Al-Yatan.
Lamawat.
Lamawat.
Regalka.
Regalka.
Al-Yanawam.
Al-Yanawam.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Anah.
Anah.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yanawam.
Yanawam.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Yashan.
Yashan.
Shawamar.
Shawamar.
Yasha'ala.
Yasharala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamar.
Shamarka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Tazak.
Tazalka.
Al-Yad.
Al-Yad.
Yamyanka.
Yamyanka.
Yawamam.
Yawamam.
Ashamash.
Ashamash.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Ka.
Yakaka.
Yarak.
Wayarak.
Walayala.
Balayala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamarka.
Yashamarka.
Makarad.
Makarad.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Adnapaska.
Athnapashka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Tazahaka.
Tazaaka.
Muwa'aka.
Wabawaka.
Ta.
Mata. Wa'ai.
Alam.
Awalam. This is Psalm 121 in English. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills.
I will lift up my eyes to the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From which cometh my help?
My help cometh from Yahweh,
My help cometh from Yahweh,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be
He
moved.
will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
he that keepeth Israel
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right
The
hand.
sun shall not smite thee by
The
day,
sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee
Yahweh shall preserve thee
from all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming in
from this time forth
from this time forth
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. All right.
Alahayim,
All the Mayalaka.
all the Mayalaka,
All the Karash.
all the Karash,
All the Shakwat.
all the Shakwat,
All.
all
Kayahana.
Kayahanam,
Abu Yabyaka.
Abad Yabyaka,
Yama Yamwam.
Namu Yawam,
Mama Shanaka.
Wamashanaka,
Nasha'awa.
Nasha'awa,
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash,
Alamaka.
Alamaka,
Yaira Yamwa.
Yari Yamwa,
Sawad.
Tawad,
Wayata. Wayataya Tazawa.
Wayataya Tazawa,
Al Tazapanyaka.
Atazabanyaka,
Amawa.
Amawa,
Nakawa.
Nakawa,
Wanaka Yadam.
Wanaka Yadam,
Magaya.
Regalia,
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah,
Yazakar.
Yazakar,
Shem Yasha'ala.
Shem Yasha'ala,
Awad.
Awad,
Kaya.
Ayah,
Nawatagawa.
Watazawa,
La.
La,
Yakagwa.
Yakagwa,
Ayaka.
Ayaka,
Wayath.
Ayath,
Yakaratwa.
Wayakaratwa,
Ahalia.
Ahoya,
Adawam. So like Adawam.
Adawam,
Waisamaliyam.
Washi Ashtamayam,
Mawa'aba.
Mawaba,
Wagaria.
Wagarian,
Gabal.
Gabal,
Waimawan.
Wamawan,
Wamalak.
Wamalak,
Walashah.
Balashah,
Mashabia.
Amashabia,
Tazawar.
Tazawar,
Gamashawar.
Gamashwar,
Nalawa.
Nalawa,
Amam.
Amam,
Ayawa.
Ayawa,
Zawad.
Zarwai,
Labanya Lawat.
Labanya Lawat,
Salah.
Salah,
Ashalaham.
Aishalaham,
Kamadyan.
Kamadyan,
Kasarazara.
Kasa Yasara,
Kayabyan.
Kayabyan,
Manakal.
Banakal,
Kwayasawan.
Bayashawan,
Nashamab. Salaki. Nashamadwa.
Nashamadwa,
Bayan.
Bayan,
Aura.
the Aura,
Ayawa.
Ayawa,
Daman.
Daman,
Nanama.
Ladama,
Shatamwa.
Satamwa,
Namawa.
Nada Yayamu,
Kara.
Kara,
Wakazaaba.
Wakazaba,
Wakazabak.
Wakazabak,
Wakatolmanat.
Wakatazalmanai,
Kaunasayakamwa.
Kal Nasa Yakamwa,
Ashar.
Ashar,
Marwa.
Amarwa,
Nayashah.
Naya Rashah,
Lanawa.
Lanawa,
Ah. Nawa.
Nawa,
Alahayim.
Alahayim,
Alahaya.
Alahaya,
Shaitamwa.
Shayatamwa,
Kagagala.
Kagagala,
Kakwash.
Kakwash,
Tapanya Rakad.
Lapanya Rakah,
Ash.
Kaash,
Tabaira.
Tabahira,
Yaira.
Yaira,
Wakalahaba.
Wakalahaba,
Talaat.
Talahat,
Hayam,
Hayam,
Khan,
Tarapadma,
Basaraka,
Wabasawaka,
Tabahalam,
Mala'ah,
Panyaham,
Palawan, Wayabakwashwa, Shemka, Yahweh, Yabashwa, Wayabahalawa, Ayai, Wayakaparwa, Wayabadwa, Wayadaiwa, Kaya, Shemka, Yahweh, Labaka, Ayawan, Oyakaratazan. This is the Psalms 83 prayer in English. Keep not thy silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still, O God.
And be not still, O God.
For lo, thine enemies make a tumult.
Thine enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
And they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
And consulted against thy hidden
And
ones.
consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have said, Come.
They have said, Come.
And let us cut them off from being a nation.
And let us cut them off from being a nation.
That the name of Israel
That the name of Israel
may be no more in remembrance.
may be no more remembrance.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
For they have consulted together in one consent.
They are confederate against
They
thee.
have confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom,
The tabernacles of Edom,
and the Ishmaelites,
the Ishmaelites,
of Moab,
Moab,
and the Hagarenes,
and Hagarenes,
Gabal,
Baal,
and Ammon,
and
and Amalek,
Amalek,
Philistines,
Philistines,
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
the inhabitants of Tyre.
Assur is also joined with them.
Assur is also joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah.
Do unto them
Do unto them
as unto the Midianites,
as unto the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as to Sisera,
as the Jabin,
as to Jabin,
at the brook of Kison,
at the brook of Kison,
which perished at Endor.
which perished in Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like Oreb,
Make their nobles like Oreb,
and like Zeb.
and like Zeb.
Yea,
Yea,
all their princes as Zebah,
all their princes as Zebah,
and as Zalmunna,
and as Tamar,
who said,
who said,
Let us take to ourselves
Let us take to ourselves
the houses of God in possession.
the house of God in possession.
Oh my God,
Oh my God.
make them like a wheel,
Make them like a wheel,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the fire burneth the wood,
as the fire burneth the wood,
and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
and as the flame flames to the mountain on fire.
So persecute them
So persecute them
with thy tempest,
with thy tempest,
and make them afraid
and make them afraid
with thy storm.
with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with shame,
that they may seek thy name.
that they may seek thy name.
O Yahweh,
Oh Yahweh,
let them be confounded
let them be confounded
and troubled forever.
and troubled forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame
let them be put to shame
and perish,
and perish.
that men may know that thou,
And men may know that thou,
whose name alone is Yahweh,
whose name alone is Yahweh,
art the most high over all the earth.
art the most high over all the earth.
Everybody be seated. Give a big hand to priest and officer Lamawad, man. Killing that Hebrew, man. Killing. All right. We're going to give me a second here. We pick up from where we left off last week. We were in the book of Exodus. We were still in chapter 10. Still dealing with this proud Pharaoh. We will pick it up from verse 17. I think we did 16 last week. You know what? We'll start at 16. We'll start at 16. Just to kind of pick up where we left off. We'll start at verse 16. Exodus, the 10th chapter, 16th verse.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 10, verse 16 in the Hebrew. Wayamar, Para'ah, Lakara'ah, Lamasha, Walaharan, Wayamar, Katathaya, Layahawa, Allahayakam, Walakam. It's the book of Exodus,
chapter 10, verse 16 in the English. Then Pharaoh called for Moses and Aaron in haste, and he said, I have sinned against the Lord your God and against you.
Now, of course, Pharaoh can't sin, of course, obviously, because he never had the law. We didn't have the law quantified just yet. It was basically still universal law. So he's transgressed, and he did transgress. You know what I'm saying? He transgressed on the Most High. He transgressed on Israel. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what he means. So he's now trying to make supplication. He's trying to get himself out this hell torment the Most High and put him and the house of Egypt in right now, because it's simply time for us to get free. Like I said over and over again, originally the plan was just to go into the wilderness a few days and give a burnt offering, a sacrifice to the Most High. And because the taskmasters, the Egyptians back then, just like so-called white man today, are just too damn evil and too proud. We were too important to their economy. So, you know, Egypt's the Pharaoh's thing was, you know what, screw your God and screw whatever it is y'all believe in. Y'all gonna work. In fact, y'all gonna get double the work, and there ain't gonna be no sacrifice to the Most High, which, of course, the Pharaoh don't know. He's literally challenging the Lord,
Right.
And he's been getting his ass wore out. You know what I'm saying? Who remembers back in the day, one fight out of my mouth that was just a thorough butt kick, and Arturo Gatti and Floyd Mayweather. Arturo Gatti was stopped after 6 rounds by his trainer at the time, Buddy McGirt. He himself a former world champion. And in that fight, he stopped it for some of the reasons Pharaoh is making supplication right now. He stopped it because it was just a fight he could not win.
Right.
He was thoroughly getting, like Mayweather was literally hitting him with the kitchen sink.
That's right.
I remember that. I wasn't feeling bad for Gatti. I'm like, this is kind of what you get signing on for this, but and you don't feel bad for Pharaoh because he's going against the power of all powers. He's destined to lose, just like Gatti was destined to lose that day.
That's right.
This wasn't old heavy-footed Mickey Ward or old cut easy Jesse James Leha. This is Floyd Mayweather.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A different class of damn boxer. And the Most High, of course, is about 100 times better than Mayweather is just in going about the earth.
Right.
The Lord is a man of war. Exodus 15:3. He ain't lost a fight yet.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And we wouldn't lose a fight if we were if blacks and Hispanics just got it up in their head and say, okay, we're going to stop doing things our way. We see we're on the bottom of society. We're either getting killed in our car by the police or we're getting locked in cages at the border. Us and our families being locked in cages like we're damn dogs. Let's just let's get in this Bible and find out what the Lord wanted us to do.
That's right.
It seemed like it would go a whole lot easier on us if we just do that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Get on side of the power is never lost.
Right.
Instead of doing things our own way and believing in nothing but vain traditions like Christmas, it would just behoove our people to just find out what the Lord is saying. You done heard the prophets since the 90s tell y'all that y'all were the children of Israel.
Right.
So at this point, especially with the internet, at this point, Black folks, Latinos, Native Americans, you really don't have no excuse at this point. You know what I'm saying? Find out what it is. Once you've been told, you need to get in this Bible and learn what it is you are supposed to be doing. That way, the power of powers can be with you. The undefeated power. You'll never have to be Arturo Gatti in a title fight. You know what I'm saying? Let's get verse 17.
Come. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 10, verse 17 in the Hebrew. Waitha, na'a, kata ataya, aka, haba'am, wahaithaya rawa, La Yahweh, Allah Hayakam, Wayatar, Salakir, Wayasar, Ma'ala, Rakah, Hayataza, Ashar, Hawatay, Salakir, Hawatayar, Habarad, Wala'ah, Nawatar, Kal, Harak, Salakir, Yarak, Bayataza, Waba Ashab, Hashadah, Bakal, Radazah, Matazariim. It's the Exodus chapter 10, verse 17 in the English. Now therefore forgive, I pray thee, my sin only this once, and entreat the Lord your God that he may take away from me this death only.
The wages of sin is death.
That's right.
Please stop them. Go to them and make them stop. I'll get my people to leave your people alone. My magicians will stay wherever it is they are worshiping totems. I'll go on this seat with my family and clean up this mess and never transgress you again. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, of course, we know he's not going to stick with that, but he's trying to get Moses to stop.
Right.
Because at this point in the game, he's losing everything. He ain't won a round yet and won't.
That's right.
Go ahead, verse 18 and 19.
Book of Exodus, chapter 10, verse 18 in the Hebrew. Wayataza'ah, I'm Para'ah, Wayatar, all Yahweh. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 10, verse 18 in the English. And he went out from Pharaoh and entreated the Lord. On verse 19, sir. Come. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 10, verse 19 in the Hebrew. Wayahapak, Yahweh, Rawak, Yamah. Hayataza, Ashar, Wadar, Habarad, Wala'ah, Nawatar, Kal, Yarak, Bataza, Waba Ashab, Hashadah, Bakal, Arataza, Matazarium. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 10, verse 19 in the English. And the Lord turned a mighty strong west wind, which took away the locust and cast them into the Red Sea. There remained not one locust in all the coast of Egypt.
Only the Most High got that kind of power.
That's right.
Find me another power that can actually make animals return to their home, all on cue. That other kind of power don't exist.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? The Jewish man that cosplaying us these days, calling himself us, he ain't got no power like that.
Right.
The Catholic Church and the Christian Church, who's their God? It's Satan. It's the white Jesus, the image of the beast. He ain't got no power like that. He been dead. Islam, the rock god out there in Mecca, he ain't got that kind of power. Don't let them tell you for 1 minute it's the same power. You're gonna hear that when you deal with Muslim cats. They're gonna tell you it's the same power, just a different name. Nah, ain't no way. The Most High ain't never put in there to worship us, to go to a stone and kiss it and fondle it and do all this other mess and kneel before it for a bunch of hours. That's a bunch of BS. You know what I'm saying? All 5 or 6 of the Hindu gods, the Buddhist god, which was a man, Buddha.
Right.
They ain't got these kind of powers.
That's right.
They ain't got the power to make locusts return home at one cast. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
The power, the true power, the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's the power that can do that. And he's making himself known to Pharaoh right now. Pretty soon he's gonna be making it known to us. Only you all have the chance to be on the right side of that. You know what I'm saying? Because he's for you. He wants you to win. He don't want the nations to be over you like they are. The reason they are is because we're too hard at it.
Right.
And insist on doing things our own way. Verse 20, warrior. 20 and 21.
Come. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 10, verses 20 and 21 in the Hebrew. Kazak, Yahweh, Labah, Para'ah, Wala'ah, Shalak, Benya, Yasha'ala. Verse 21. Wayamar, Kazak, Ma'ad, Wayasha'ah, Rabah, Wayatak, Hawa, Yama, Sawat, La'a, Nasha'ar, Arabah, Akkad, Bakal, Gabawa, Hamawath, Hazah. The book of Exodus, chapter 10, verse 20 and 21 in the English. But the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart so that he would not let the children of Israel go. Verse 21. And the Lord said unto Moses, stretch out thine hand towards heaven, that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, even darkness which may be felt.
Well, obviously, Pharaoh's not learning his lesson. So now Most High got Moses stretching his arms out towards the heaven just so he can make himself further known to these people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's beginning to bring more hell to him.
Right.
First, let's go ahead and get verse 22.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 10, verse 22 in the Hebrew. Wayata, Masha, Yadawa, Hashamayim, Wayahaya, Kashak, Apala, Bakal, Rataza, Matazariyim, Shalashaf, Yamayam. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 10, verse 22 in the English. And Moses stretched forth his hand towards heaven, and there was a thick darkness in all the land of Egypt 3 days.
So for 3 days, Egypt didn't see any sunlight. It's something straight out of a horror movie right now, man. This is Alfred Hitchcock, basically. We got locusts, we got birds, we got dung everywhere, we got dead cattle everywhere, and now we got total darkness.
Right.
It ain't no game, man. You going against the power of powers. You basically agreed to take an L before it even started, because he's the one in control. He's the Ancient of Days. He's the Alpha Omega. He knows the beginning and the end. You know what I'm saying?
Come.
Give it up to Abanawa Yahweh, the Most High over all.
That's right.
We are in verse 23. Let's go ahead and grab that.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 10, verse 23 in the Hebrew. La'ah, Ra'ah, Ayash, Akayawa, Wala'ah, Kumawa, Ayash, Matakatayawa, Shalashath, Yamayam, Walakal, Banya, Yahweh, Mashah, Natah, Yadak, Allah, Hashemayim, Wayahaya, Kashak, Allah, Arataza, Matazorium, Wayamash, Kashak. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 10, verse 23 in the English. They saw not one another, neither rose any from his place for 3 days. But all the children of Israel had light in their dwellings.
In other words, wherever we were, we had light. We could see what we were doing.
Sound like they didn't pay their light bill.
Yeah. They done got the rest of Egypt done got cut off.
Right.
Con Edison, whatever they were dealing with back then cut them off.
Right.
Lord wasn't playing. He's trying to show them something. You know what I'm saying? You can't beat the power that made the earth flood for 40 days and 40 nights. You know what I'm saying? Because before Egypt, that was all the Lord was known for. He was, in the eyes of the nation, he was the demonic power.
Right.
The demonic spirit that washed the world away for 40 days and 40 nights. That was his reputation. You know what I'm saying? And the Pharaoh done went against this power, and he's seeing the repercussions of it.
Right.
Verse let's get verse 24 or 25.
We on verse 24, sir.
Let's go ahead and get 24.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 10, verse 24 in the Hebrew. Wayakora'ah, Ra'ah, Al, Mashah, Wayamar, Lakawa, Abadawa, Al. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 10, verse 24 in the English. And Pharaoh called unto Moses and said, Go ye, serve the Lord. Only let your flocks and your herds be stayed. Let your little ones also go with you.
Okay, well, he's almost getting the point, but I don't think he gets it all the way because he's putting stipulations on it. You know what I'm saying? Don't take your flock or your herd.
That's right.
Even though the herd and the flock is ours, it ain't his.
Right. Come.
So he's coming off of it, but he ain't learned all the way yet. So there's still some teaching must be done. Let's get verse 25.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 10, verse 25 in the Hebrew. Waya Amar, Mashah, Gama, Atah, Yasha'ala, Hayah, Awar, Vamawasha Batam. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 10, verse 25 in the English. Moses said, Thou must go, Salakia, thou must give us also sacrifices and burnt offerings, that we may sacrifice unto the Lord our God.
That's right. That cattle, all that cattle is ours. It ain't yours.
Right.
We get there. We already know to deal with the Most High. We already know that it is a sacrifice is necessary.
Right.
That's all part of it. You know, it's ritualistic.
Right.
But it's necessary. We can't go to the wilderness without something to sacrifice.
That's right.
Let's get verse 26 and 27 while we're here.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 10, verses 26 and 27 in the Hebrew. Wagam, Makonawa, Yalak, Amanawa, Yahweh, Rakah, Tazanakam, Wabakorakam, Yataza Salakia, Yataza Gama, Tapakam, Yalak, Amakam. Verse 27. Waya Kazak, Yahweh, Ah, Laba, Para'ah, Wala'ah, Abba, Lashalakam. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 10, verses 26 and 27 in the English. Our cattle also shall go with us. There shall not a hoof be left behind.
That's right.
For thereof must we take to serve the Lord our God. And we know not with what we must serve the Lord until we come thither. Verse 27. But the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, and he would not let them go.
All we want is our cattle, and he's trying to be funny about that. First, we're gonna go ahead and close out this chapter, 28 and 29.
Count on one time. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 10, verses 28 and 29 in the Hebrew.
See, I hate when we shut down, we have a small audience like we got right now. Most High in Christ. We back?
We're back.
All right, Most High in Christ. What verse are we on?
Verse 28 and 29 in the English.
Okay, well, we're on 28 in the English. We're gonna start over from 28. Go ahead.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 10, verses 28 and 29 in the English. And Pharaoh said unto him, Get thee from me, take heed to thyself, see my face no more, for in that day thou seest my face, thou shalt die. Verse 29. And Moses said, Thou hast spoken well, I will see thy face again no more.
In other words, he won't go out on his sword. He's gonna talk tough even on the way out, even on the way away from him. You know what I'm saying?
Right, calm.
Pharaoh acting like he's running everything when he's not in charge of a damn thing. This is the Most High's program. His little threats are empty. Nothing's gonna come. No harm is gonna come of Moses. At this time, Moses could have went into the house and took a dump in Pharaoh's house's living room. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
If he wanted to, the Most High was not gonna let any evil come toward Moses.
That's right.
And what I always love about Moses, before we get on to chapter 11, is it proves that the Most High can take a brother who's as basic as they come. You know what I'm saying? Moses came up in the Pharaoh's house and had a speech problem.
Right.
Yet the Lord say, I'm going to use this simple Levite here, and we're going to provoke the Pharaoh to anger, and then we're going to destroy him in battle.
Right.
And we're going to destroy his economy, and then ultimately we're going to sink him in the Red Sea.
That's right.
Many of them is possible. His whole army. And Moses was a conduit to all that. We're gonna move over to chapter 11 now. We're gonna be there probably the rest of this Sabbath service. We got how many? Okay. Chapter 11 is not a great big chapter. So we'll just finish. We'll finish chapter 11, and then we'll pray out for the Sabbath. Go ahead. First verse.
Come. This is the Exodus chapter 11, verse 1 in the Hebrew. Wayamar, Yahweh, Mashah, Awad, Nagad, Akkad, Abayah, Allah, Ara'ah, Wa'al, Mutazariyam, Akarayah, Khan. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 11, verse 1 in the English. And the Lord said unto Moses, Yet will I bring one plague more upon Pharaoh and upon Egypt. Afterwards he will let you go hence. When he shall let you go, he shall surely thrust you out hence altogether.
All right, so just proving that the Most High is in charge of everything.
That's right.
He's going to provoke the Pharaoh to harden in his heart one more time, and then he's going to hit him with the final phase of this plan. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Egypt is never going to be the same again, and it's all because the Lord is in charge of things.
Right.
It was time for Israel to come up out of captivity, just like right now in America. Pretty soon it's going to be time for Israel to come out of captivity.
Right.
You know, we're making war. You know, Most High is getting things stirred up right now. Ask yourself why Iran is shooting weapons right now. Why Israel and Palestine are just ramping up more hell towards one another. Keep in mind, North Korea, which is not a U.S. ally, has been testing out super weapons for the last 3 or 4 years. When you have weapons that mighty, you have to drop them somewhere, right?
Right.
It don't make no difference having a weapon. It don't make no sense having a weapon that big and you ain't got somebody in mind to drop it on.
Right.
It's going to be the U.S. and all their allies that are going to get the brunt of it. And North Korea, they're on the side of America's enemies, Russia and China and Iran. I got at home a list of all America's enemies, and I keep them in mind every time I do the curses. Me and my kids do the curses with my kids. I mean, at night and curse the enemies of the Lord.
Right.
I keep them nations in mind because I want them nations to be stirred up. You know what I'm saying? Tired of America's mess. That's kind of why, even though I didn't vote, of course, no one in the ISUPK voted. A part of me wishes Harris would have won. I'm gonna tell you why. Because I think she would have actually got us at war quicker than Donald Trump. Actually,
it's like, if I may,
go ahead, please.
You can't really be in this truth. You can't call yourself in the truth, and you don't want destruction to come.
That's right.
Because in order for you to come into power, destruction has to come.
That's right.
In order for the prophecies of this Bible to be fulfilled, destruction has to come. I know it's a scary thing, but if you are truly a believer in Yahweh Shai and Yahweh, then you know you're covered no matter what. So you have to pray for destruction to come.
Right.
And that's just what it is.
And that's me. I don't want America to make it another day. Me personally.
Come.
I wish Christ and I ain't gonna say wish no more. I want and pray for Christ and the angels to blow this thing up yesterday.
That's right.
That's what I want. The magnificence of Yahweh Shai, aka Jesus Christ, to come here on them UFOs with the Most High's armor and just annihilate this place and make that scene in Independence Day look like a pleasure cruise. Who remembers that first Independence Day? I remember going to the theater when that came out, and just how hopeless a lot of Americans, if you will, were looking when that first ship blasted down That place where all the Edomites were up there celebrating.
Right.
What were they doing? Celebrating the aliens, having a party with their dumbasses, not knowing it's gonna be the last thing they're gonna do. Right. They up there trying to have a party for the so-called aliens. And by the time it was over, a lot of the world got put under fire, and particularly in that movie, LA, New York, and DC.
Right.
With more damage to come later, and that's what it's gonna look like. The only thing is it's gonna take about that long. In Revelations, it says about an hour or two. Right? That's about how long that movie was. And that's what's waiting for America. Those movies like that have become my favorites to watch now. It used to be I would just load up on horror flicks, slasher flicks,
right,
sci-fi, you know what I'm saying? But now now pictures like that, ever since I got into the truth, pictures like that is what I watch.
Right.
Y'all got any in mind for me? That I maybe haven't seen, let me know. I can go watch them tonight.
Salaki.
Go ahead.
But our oppressor knows, they know we telling the truth. Movies that they put out, all these apocalyptic movies, is just to try to prepare the population of their people. It's kind of like not a brainwashing, but it's subliminally preparing them for what's to come and to give them some kind of hope that they will survive through it. But again, it's really just false hope at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
They understand that, but they still prepare anyway to fight. Which, I guess you should fight for your people. That's what you should do at the end of the day. But if anybody knows that the Bible is true, then you should just put down your sword and turn them into pruning hooks, as the scriptures say, into plows and everything else. Just get ready to serve. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Instead of fighting, you should just get ready to serve. You had your time on top. You enjoyed the fruits of this world, and you did wickedly against the Lord's people. And you should just, it was your time.
There you go. Before we get back into the scriptures, let me let y'all in on something you probably already heard, but I can prove it right now. Hollywood is in league with the Illuminati. Y'all know that. I would always hear these so-called conspiracy theories, but I'm going to tell you, I know the truth basically because Hollywood has been putting out there who we are for a long time.
That's right.
What was that movie Fred Williamson was in back in the 70s, in the 70s?
Do not know. I've watched a lot of
Nigga Charlie, I think it was. They actually had Fred Williamson say the 12 tribes of Israel were black. You know what I'm saying? They know who we are, and I wasn't convinced too much that they knew who we are until who saw Barry? The movie Netflix did about Obama's college years. Who saw that?
I didn't watch it.
Okay. That was one of the movies where they actually have actors acting like Hebrew Israelites. Like awakened Israelites.
Okay, come. Right.
And in the back, if y'all go see that movie again, that scene was a small scene when Obama ran across some Israelite brothers, right? Now, them brothers were just actors and doing what they told, but the brothers behind them had a sign. They had the 12 tribe sign.
Right.
Not only that, it was in Hebrew. It was in Lashon Kodash. Meaning they even know what we teach.
Right.
Why would they put that in the movie?
They put it in another movie too.
Oh, there's plenty of movies.
Was it 9 something?
Yeah, it was Licks. Woody Harrelson was in that movie.
Walking across the street.
Yeah, and there was some Israelite brothers out there teaching. I forget. it was, yeah, Woody Harrelson is in it, and the word 9 is in the
And
title.
he kind of let it known that he, you know, that they're the devil.
Right.
The way he responded to him and everything. So
those aren't the only movie. I didn't. You know, they never did release Asher. They never did put that out.
Right.
Which was an entire movie about an Israelite. Danny Glover was in it. Mekhi Phifer was in it.
Right. Comic-Con.
It was a whole movie where this what's the name?
No, Salakia. So Princess Nizam Ana Salakia says, if I mispronounce her name, she said Salakia, sir, good times. Shaka Zulu also dropped.
Shaka Zulu did drop a hint or two when the actor playing Shaka Zulu, which is an African raised in England, basically was talking to some Edomites, and the Edomite wanted to know who them people was. A bunch of black people walking and pacing somewhere, and basically Shaka said those were black people.
Right.
So it's been hints in plenty of movies. It's been literally movies that have what we teach. So they know the truth. They know who we are, and they're afraid of us. That's why millions and billions of dollars is being spent in outer space right now, because they're trying to go to war with Yahushua, and it's a war they're gonna lose.
Right.
Plain and simple.
Because the Most High is bigger than outer space.
God.
Like, that's what's so wild about it.
We're gonna go ahead and get back to the work though. Verse 2.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 11, verse 2 in the Hebrew. The bar, Na'ah, Ba'ah, Zanah, Zanaya, Ha'im, Haran, Ashawa, Af, Kal, Mashapathayam, Ha'allah, Lapanyah, Para'ah, Wayakazak, Yahweh, Oth, Labah, Para'ah, Wala'ah, Al, Mashah, La'ah, Yashamai, Alahikam, Para'ah, Lama'an, Rabawath, Mawapathaya, Ba'ratazah, Matazariyum. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 11, verse 2 in the English. Speak now in the ears of the people, and let every man borrow of his neighbor, and every woman of her neighbor, jewels of silver and jewels of gold.
Okay, let's get verse 3.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 11, verse 3 in the Hebrew. Wayatan, Yahweh, Yashalak, Atakam, Mazar, Kashalakawa, Kala, Garash, Yagarash, Atakam, Mazar. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 11, verse 3 in the English. And the Lord gave the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians. Moreover, the man Moses was very great in the land of Egypt, in the sight of Pharaoh's servants, and in the sight of the people.
Somebody should show this scripture to Christians. When it came down to his people weren't all people.
Right.
And furthermore, I don't want to hear what some so-called white man ever says about the Bible unless he's going to tell the truth. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the only truth is that I want to hear, his truth has to begin with, we know Jesus isn't black. I mean, Jesus isn't white. We know the Israelites weren't white. He's got to start out with that, or I don't want to hear anything, you know what I'm saying, about all people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because if he's for all people, why did y'all have to change his face?
Right.
If it doesn't matter, like honkies love saying, why change his face? Why change his image? Why isn't there a black Jesus in everybody's house in America or in the West? You got the Bible telling you he's black. His earliest drawings tell you he was black. Josephus and Tacitus confirmed he was black, and they were alive. They were alive around that time. Keep in mind, Tacitus is a white man. Josephus may have been a brother, but he hated Christ. He was a Pharisee. Came up in the house of Pharisees. If Josephus was alive today, he'd be Jesse Lee Peterson, basically. You know, you can't get more of a coon than that. Right. But no, it is about the Most High's people, man. It's people. You blacks and Hispanics are so lucky that these are your people here, man. This is your God. And it's this God that's going to get you out of this terrible condition.
Right.
Where are we at now? Verse 3 or verse 4? Verse 4. Go ahead.
Come.
Let's get 4 and 5.
Come. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 11, verses 4 and 5 in the Hebrew. Wayamar, Mashah, Ka, Amar, Yahweh, Kakatas, Taza'ah, Halayallah, Aniyah. Verse 5. Wamath, Ka, Bakawar, Barataza, Matazariyum, Ayabakawar, Para'ah, Ayashab, Allah, Kasa'awa, Abadiah, Para'ah, Wabayinaya, Ha'im. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 11, verses 4 and 5 in the English. And Moses said, "Thus saith the Lord, about midnight will I go out in the midst of Egypt." Verse 5. And all the firstborn in the land of Egypt shall die. From the firstborn of Pharaoh that sitteth upon his throne, even unto the firstborn of the maidservant that is behind the mill, and all the firstborn of beasts.
So now we're talking about the firstborn of Pharaoh, the firstborn of his military, the firstborn of his servants, and even his beasts. Now they all get it. The death angels are going to visit them at night. Now remember now, it's midnight. And in the scriptures, night came before day and day before night.
Right.
I mean, and day after night. So it's a new day at that point, come midnight.
Right.
And right on top of this day, Moses is going out, and the firstborn of every house is going to die.
Right.
Now I want y'all to keep that in mind, because when we're battling out on the street, you're going to have some Edomites, and even the sellouts among our people, blacks and Hispanics, are going to say that he's going to save the ones of them that are good. In other words, the so-called good white folk.
Right.
Let me ask y'all a question. What did the firstborn of everybody in Pharaoh in Egypt, what did they do to the Israelites? Even better question. What did the firstborn of their cattle do to the Israelites?
Not a thing.
Just because you're of another nation that's not Israel, and you're the nation that has us in captivity, the Most High's anger is going to come aboard you. It's going to come towards you. Just because you never laid a hand on us ain't going to mean anything.
Right. Come.
When you read that scripture in Malachi, grab that real quick. Let me hold that. Let's pull that real quick.
Is that the one about one vessel is for honor and one unto dishonor?
Even though that is a good one, but no, that's not the one I'm looking for right now. Okay, Malachi 1 and 2. Can you read 2, 3, and 4 real quick?
This is the book of Malachi, chapter 1, verses 2, 3, and 4. I have loved you, saith the Lord.
He loved our people.
Come.
Go ahead.
Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us?
Okay, because we're wondering, we're on the bottom of all society. Last hired, first fired. We're getting shot down by the police in the street just for being in our car. You call the police. The sister called the police. Cop shot her in the face. There's no place of rest here. You could be doing everything you're supposed to be doing, and end up in prison. I can't tell you how many blacks and Hispanics we see get freed from prison, have been cleared from DNA evidence. Go ahead.
Was not Esau Jacob's brother?
In the beginning, he was our brother. In fact, Esau was firstborn, was he not?
Right.
Go ahead.
Saith the Lord, yet I love Jacob.
He loves blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Go ahead.
Verse 3. And I hated Esau.
He hates the so-called white man and white woman. Those are your Edomites. If your father is Caucasian, then you're an Edomite, even if you look black or brown. You know what I'm saying? All the Marleys are Edomites.
Right.
See what I'm saying? Because they come from an Edomite.
Right.
Go ahead.
And laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness.
That happened then, and it's coming again soon.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Verse 4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places.
Don't so-called white people love to play victim now?
Right.
Especially when you confront them with our plight. They'll go into all kinds of nonsense. We're all oppressed.
Right.
The fuck? Salaki. We're all catching hell. Well, how you catching hell in your empire?
Right.
How you end up on dope and homeless in your empire? Go ahead.
It's like it, man.
Go ahead.
And how you gonna say that to us when it's, even if you were, it's your own people
right
doing it to you?
Exactly. Ain't no separation between y'all.
Because you have no brotherhood. What's that got to do with me?
There you go.
Come. Let's see. Thus saith the Lord of hosts.
Y'all pay attention to this part. Go ahead.
They shall build, but I will throw down.
Every time they have built Roman Empire, the Greeks, when they were in rulership, the Ottoman Turks, every time they did step up, the Renaissance, the Most High tore it down. Go ahead.
And they shall call them the border of wickedness.
The border of who?
The border of wickedness.
All Edomites, so-called white people, are the devil in the Lord's eyes.
That's right.
They are the beast of the field. They are the children of Satan. We just read it. And when you even in the New Testament in Romans 9, you're going to read even more of it. You're basically going to read everything Malachi just said.
Okay.
So Old Testament, Apocrypha, and New Testament, it's identifying the Edomites as the devil.
Okay. It's like it doesn't Obadiah as well.
Obadiah was a prophet raised up just to prophesy against Edom. Just against the Edomites. That just gives you an idea of how much the Lord hates them. And the only reason we're serving them right now is because we won't serve the Lord.
Right.
Okay, let me go back to
finish it.
Well, go ahead.
Come. And the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever.
Say that part one more time.
The people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever.
So whenever they try to tell you that Edom was already destroyed, now, not yet. Not yet. They will be, but not yet, because the Most High hates them forever. He has indignation against them forever. He can't have that if they're not here anymore. You understand? So now, forever and ever, the Most High hates the so-called white man, which is Edom, and even they know it. Their scholars know that they're the Edomites.
That's right.
We got the books about them. The ISUPK was were the only people who had these books. But now they are the border of wickedness. Always has been, and always will be.
That's right.
And the Lord has indignation against them forever.
That's right.
And that indignation is nothing but them in chains pretty soon.
That's a lot again.
And in captivity. Go ahead.
And I can't see how anybody can read that and then says God loves everybody.
Because they're not reading the Bible.
Right.
The only thing they're reading is the the Catholicism and Christian doctrine.
I mean,
which is
forever.
Which is indebted to Babylon. Y'all do know that, right? That's indebted. The whole Catholic and the whole Catholic doctrine is heavily indebted to ancient Babylon.
Right.
That's just a fact. That's where a lot of Catholic practices come from. We're on verse 6 now, right? Let's get 6 and 7.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 11, verses 6 and 7 in the Hebrew. Wahiyata, Taza'aka, Taza'akwa, Gadala, Bakal, Yawataza'a, Batawak, Matazariyum, verse 7. Walakal, Maniya, Yasha'ala, La'a, Aida, Bakawar, Hashapaka, Ashar, Akar, Harakayam, Wakal, Bakawar, Bahama. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 11, verses 6 and 7 in the English. And there shall be a great cry throughout all the land of Egypt, such as there was none like it, nor shall be like it any more. Verse 7. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know how that the Lord doth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
Usually when the Most High is naming beast, he's it's a metaphor, an allegory for people. You know what I'm saying? A dog is an unclean beast in the Most High's eyes.
Okay.
So he's calling these Egyptians and any other heathen there that's not Israel, he's calling them dogs.
Right.
And he's telling them a dog better not move his tongue. In other words, not say a damn thing. Because it's time, this is Egypt getting the judgment now.
That's right. This
is them getting a receipt for having us in brutal captivity and then defying the Most High by not letting us go and honor him with a sacrifice.
Right.
Like he demanded. Let's get verse 8. This
is the book of Exodus, chapter 11, verse 8 in the Hebrew. Wayaradawa, call, Abadayak, Allah, Alayaya, Salakya, Alaya, Wahashatakawa, Laya, Lamar, Taza'a, Ata, Wakal, Yakarataza, Salakya, Yakarataza, Kalab, Lashanawa, Lama Yum Salakya, Lama Yash, Wa'ad, Wahama, Lama An, Tarawan, Ashar, Yapala, Yahweh, Bayan, Matazariyum, Arataza, Matazariyum, Ashar, Kamahawa, La'a, Nahayata, Wakamahawa, La'a, Tasa. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 11, verse 8 in the Hebrew, or Salaki in the English. And all these thy servants shall come down unto me and bow down themselves unto me, saying, Get thee out, and all the people that follow thee. And after that, I will go out. And he went out from Pharaoh in a great anger.
Okay. We'll go ahead and get verse 9.
God in one kind. This book of Exodus, chapter 11, verse 9 in the Hebrew. Wayamar, Yahweh, Wabayan, Yasha'Allah. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 11, verse 9 in the English. And the Lord said unto Moses, Pharaoh shall not hearken unto you, that my wonders may be multiplied in the land of Egypt.
Pharaoh ain't gonna listen. This is the proudest damn sovereign ruler in history, because if I seen all this and I know the Most High did it, I would have yielded a long time ago.
Right.
I'm not gonna sit up there and box a power that I can't physically put hands on. You know what I'm saying? It take a whole lot of pride to want to go out that way and be an astonishment and an embarrassment for the world.
Right.
Considering Egypt is just like America and Great Britain and the common markets are right now. Egypt was that back then, double that.
That's right.
Just this mighty, mighty power upon the earth. And then just because you went against the power of all powers, now you're getting ready to be a joke. An ancient punchline, basically.
That was buried under sand.
Yeah.
Go.
Egypt now is a museum, is now a living wax museum. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
All because this Pharaoh went against the power of powers. And it was so easy later on for them Greeks to go into Egypt and screw up everything they screwed up.
Right.
Put their little faces on everything and destroy the Egyptian idols and tell all them false stories they done told, break the nose off the statues just so they can say that the ancient Egyptians were white. Now here we don't give a damn about the ancient Egyptians, but we know damn well the ancient Egyptians were black.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Or the Sudanese of today, sir.
God.
Okay.
That's where their descendants are. They're in the Sudan, they're in Botswana, they're in surrounding nations. That's where the children of Mitzrayim is today.
Right.
We know damn well it ain't no so-called white man or even them Arabs, which the ones that are in Egypt mainly are so-called white people calling themselves Arab.
Come. It's when the Romans came in and mixed with the population.
Come. So can't nobody, and the reason they still do that, the reason they try to tell y'all that the ancient Egyptians look some way other than black is because they know even the simple of you Negroes and Hispanics will figure out that if the ancient Egyptians were black people, then so too were the ancient Israelites.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Because when you read Genesis real well, you know that when they were all together for Jacob's funeral, it was a mixed multitude of Egyptians and Israelites, yet they were saying that it was I'm paraphrasing, but in Genesis it says it was kind of a spectacle for the mourning for the Egyptians.
Right.
Yet we know it was a mixed multitude there. It was Egyptians and Israelites honoring an Israelite, Jacob.
Right.
The father of the Israelites. And they know that even the simplest, a brother who could have got high all week can put that together. You know what I'm saying? And that's why they have to continue telling that lie that the ancient Egyptians was something other than black people. You know what I'm saying? Even in fictional Egyptian movies, they will cast the Egyptians as other than black people.
Right.
Something other than black people.
Right.
10 Commandments, all the Egyptians were white. I'm like, what the freak are y'all talking about?
It's a lie, sir. They like to say now, well, they were kind of olive skin.
Yeah.
They were Mediterranean.
Olives only come in two colors, green and black.
Oh, God. What are we talking about?
Unless there's another olive I'm forgetting about. So you're going to tell me that the ancient Egyptians were a bunch of green people?
Right.
Is that where we're going? Is that where we're going with? The so-called white man is the devil and the author and the father of lies, just like the Bible says.
Right.
And that proves it. Let's go ahead and get the last verse and then go ahead and pray out.
Sir. This is Book of Exodus, chapter 11, verse 10 in the Hebrew. Wamashah, Ha'im, Ashar, Baragal, Salakia, Baragalayak, Wa'akara, Salakia, Wa'akaraya, Khan, Ataza'a, Wayataza'a, Ma'im, Para'ai, Bakaraya, Apa. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 11, verse 10 in the English. And Moses and Aaron did all these wonders before Pharaoh, and the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart so that he would not let the children of Israel go out of his land.
Okay, so next week when we pick up, we're going to pick up right from verse 12, and we're going to just count all the W's the Most High gets on Egypt this time, because it really starts ramping together right around the 12th chapter. Okay. But I say the water for y'all for being in the Sabbath service with us. The water to the Most High. In the name of Yahushua. The water to Commanding General Yohana and the generals and the captains, our brother officers and troopers and the sisters. We're going to go ahead and pray out. Remember to pay your tithes and goodwill offerings to the men of the Lord, 10% of any increase you get. And ISUPK.com for the ISUPK school near you. Go ahead and do this.
The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim. Dash. Ayah. Shemkat. Yahweh. Malakaka. Taba'ah. Tazakah. Ayah. Asha. Baratza. Kawak. Ayah. Ashmayim. Nathanawa. Nakam. Kal. Yuwam. Wasalakna. Kabawafina. Kasalakna. Kabawafina. Wala'ah. Tabayanawa. Vanasa one. All. I was shy now. My young. Right. Amalakwa. Wa'ala. What the Parah. La Wilumbian. Aman. Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father. Art in heaven. Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. On earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Prayer to the power. This is the power in the Hebrew.
Yahweh. Ba'ashem. Yahushua. Baba Kashah. Nathanawa. Akak. Laba'ah. Kalmakala. Kalmadawa. Akak. Latahar. Amatazarayim. Akak. Alakoyim. Amathia. Akak. Alakara.
Hatama'ala.
Lagashan. Bashem.
Yahushua.
Tawada. Aman. This is the prayer to the power in English. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Please give us the power. The power to heal all manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you, so be it. This concludes the Sabbath service.